Good evening. Today we'll be studying the fourth and final chapter of Hilchot Sota, also the last chapter in Sefer Nashim. In this chapter, we'll deal with a number of different dinim in regards to Sota, and Harambam will close with a very nice and really good advice in regards to a husband and wife and the proper home a man should try and build, and the environment in which he should behave with his family members, including his wife. הלכות סוטה פרק ד' הלכה א' ב-15 באדר נפנין בית דין לצורכי הרבים. On the 15th of Adar, the Bet Din Hagadol would clear their schedule pretty much and conduct the public affairs of the tzibur. Uvadkin al re'uya lishtot lashkota, and among these public affairs were the isha sota, even though the process of the sota can be done at any point during the year. Typically, the 15th of Adar was set aside for anything that the public needed for the Bet Din. So among those items and among those things, again, the sota would be checked and would drink the mehamarim. Also, those women that the Bet Din would warn on behalf of their husband, for example, as we mentioned in Perek Aleph Halacha Yod, that a husband that became deaf-mute, the Bet Din can warn his wife on his behalf and can warn her enough to have her divorced and not collect the ketubah. The kanela ulhotzia. So again, yes, the Bet Din can warn her and does warn her on this day of the 15th of Adar and can have her divorced from her husband. Uchol zeman mashkinet hasotot. But at any point during the year, the sota can drink the mehamarim. Ve'en mashkinet hasota el bayom. But the sota can only drink the waters only during the day. And the entire day is valid for a sota to drink the waters. And two sotot are not to drink the mehamarim as one or at the same time, because the pasuk says that the kohen has the woman stand in the singular, implying that she has to be on her own and not to have the kohen drink two women at once. Halacha bet. Sota she'amera eni shota mehamat yira'ah v'fahad yesh la lachzor v'lomar hareni shota. If there's a sota that comes and says that she refuses to drink because she is afraid, she has the right to come back and say that she wants to drink if she desires. Aval im amera eni shota vehi beri'ah ve'ena יראה ולא פוחדת, אינה יכולה לחזור ולומר, הנני shota. But if she says that I am not going to drink the waters, and she is healthy, and it is not, and she doesn't say this because she is afraid, she cannot come back and drink and say that she wishes to drink, because this is like a true confession if she simply says that she doesn't want to drink and she says it without being afraid. Halacha Gimel. Amera eni shota kodem shetimachek ha-megillah. If she says, I do not wish to drink, before the Megillah is erased, hare megillata nignezet, her Megillah is archived and put away. Ve'ena keshera lashkot bah sota acheret. And that Megillah is invalid to have another sota drink from it after it is erased. Umin hatah mitpazeret al hadeshen, and her korban minha is thrown or spread on the deshen. The deshen was a place near the mizbeach that all the dust would be collected on the mizbeach. Deshen is the dust of the firewood of the mizbeach. If she says I refuse to drink after the Megillah was erased, we compel her and force her to drink the waters, even if it is done not under her will. ومأيمين عليها شتشتي, and we compel her and caution her that she must drink the waters. وأمريم لا بيتي, and we tell her, our daughter, إم برور لها دبر شتهورات إمدي البريخ وشتي. If you are so sure that you are pure and you weren't defiled, stand by your word and drink the waters. ואל תפחדי, and don't be afraid. לפי שאין המים דומין אלא לסם יבש מונח על בשר חי, because the mehamarim are just like medicine that is placed on raw flesh. Yesh sham makkah mechalhel veyored. If there is some type of injury or blemish on it, the medicine would cause the bruise or the wound or on the skin to return to normal. En sham makkah eno osekun. But and if there isn't a blemish or a wound, the medicine won't affect the skin at all. הלכה ד' אמירה טמאה אני, אף על פי שנמחקה המגילה, המים נשפכים מפני שאין בהם קדושה ומנחתה מתפזרת על הדשן. If she says, I was defiled and I had relations with the man that my husband warned me not to, even though the Megillah was erased, the waters are poured out because they don't have any kedusha, and her minha is again spread out on the dish. And this is in contrast to the previous halakha, where the woman said, "Any shota," that she refuses to drink. But in this halakha, the woman said teme'ani and admits to being with the guy. That's why, even though the Megillah was erased, the waters are simply spilled, and we don't compel her to drink. Halakha he Megillat Sota ketava balayla pisula. A Megillah the Sota that was written at night is invalid. Shne'emar vechatav vehishka vehikriv. As the pasuk says, the Megillah should be written, and then he has the woman drink the water, and then he brings the korban on behalf of, and the woman brings the kohen brings the korban on behalf of the women. Keshem shekorbanah bayom, kach ketivat hamegillah vashkayat bayom. Just as her korban is brought in the day, so too the writing of the Megillah and her drinking of the waters must be during the day as well. Ketava lemafreya pesula shene'emar ha'eleh al haseder. If the Megillah was written out of order, it is invalid, as the pasuk says, and these meaning these words that were written, implying that it must be in order. If he writes the Megillah before she accepts the oath upon her, it is invalid, as the pasuk says that he has to have her swear and make the oath, and only then does he write the Megillah. Halacha vav ketava igeret pesula shne'emar b'sefer. If the Megillah was written as an igeret, an igeret is in contrast to, as we mentioned before, the Megillat Sota must be written like a Sefer Torah. For example, it has to have sirtut. So if it was written as an igeret, for example, again, not having sirtut or any dinim that would differ, any dinim that would make it not like a Sefer Torah, it is invalid, as the Torah says in regards to the Megillat Sota. It has to be basefer, it has to be in a scroll, implying that it has to be like the scroll of a Sefer, like a Sefer Torah. And if anyone forgot, the sirtut that I mentioned are the lines that are scratched in the parchment, kind of like underlines on the scroll of the Sefer Torah. Ketava al shene dapim pesula shne'emar basefer sefer echad velo shenayim ushlosha. If the Megillat Sota was written on 2 columns, it is invalid, as it says basefer, like a scroll, meaning one scroll, not 2 or 3 scrolls or 2 or 3 columns. Ve'eno kotev lo al hanayar ve'lo al hadiftera ela b'Megillat sefer shne'emar basefer. And it may not be written on paper or papyrus or leather that was not fully tanned. That's diftera. Rather, it can only be written on a fully tanned scroll, as the Torah says in regards to the Megillat Sota, basefer, like a scroll, like a book, implying that it must be a full-fledged scroll. ואם כתבה על הנייר או דפתרה פסולה. But if it was written on paper or a diftera, again, leather that was not fully tanned, it is invalid. וכתב הכהן, הלמדת שאם כתבה ישראל או כהן פסולה. The Torah says in regard to the Megillat Sota that the Kohen must write it, implying that it may not be, that if it was written by a non-Kohen or a Kohen that was a minor, it is invalid. הלכה זין, אין הכותבה לא בקומוס ולא בקלקנטוס ולא בכל דבר שרישומו ניכר ועומד, אלא בדיו שאין בו קלקנטוס שנאמר וכתב ומחה, כתב שהוא יכול להימחות. The scroll may not be written with komos or kalkantos. Komos and kalkantos are types of sulfur that would, when boiled or cooked, they would come out a shade of black, and they were permanent. So if the Megillat Sota was written with this type of ink or anything that was permanent, it is invalid. Rather, it has to be written by something that isn't permanent, as the Torah says that the scroll must be erased in the Mesota, and only ink that can be erased may be used. And if it was written with some type of permanent ink and an ink that cannot be erased, it is invalid. As we mentioned in the previous chapter, the Kohen must erase, must totally erase the scroll of the Sota. If so, this halakha clarifies that if there was some type of writing that was not erased, it is invalid. Rather, the scroll has to be totally erased. Halakha het. כתב אות אחת ומחקה, וחזר וכתב אות שנייה ומחקה, עד שישלים פסולה, עד שתהיה כולה כתובה. If the Kohen wrote one letter and then erased it, then he went back and wrote another letter and then erased it, until he writes and completes the entire scroll, it is invalid. Rather, he has to totally write the scroll from beginning to end without any letters missing for it to be valid. כתבה שלא לשמה, if the scroll is written not for that same woman, for example, if the Kohen got confused and wrote it for another woman, or if he was writing the scroll simply to learn and to study how to write, or if the Kohen erased the scroll for a woman other than the Sota that is about to drink, or that the scroll was not written for her, it is invalid. כתב שתי מגילות לשתי סוטות, ומחקה לתוך כוס אחד או לתוך שני כוסות, וערבן בכוס אחד וישקל לשתיהן פסולה שכל אחת מהן לא שתה מגילתה. If the Kohen wrote two megilot for two sotot, and he erased both scrolls in one cup, or if he erased them in one cup, or in two separate cups, and then mixed the waters in one cup, and then he had the women drink from these waters, that either again it was the Megillah was mixed into one cup, or it was erased in two separate cups and then poured in one cup, and he gave it to them to drink, it is invalid because neither one totally drank their own Megillah that was again dissolved in the water. Halachatet. Mehakan lish. No, mehila. I just read that. No, mehila. Halacha tet. Mehakan lishne kosot ve'erevan ve'hazar ve'hilekan bishne hakosot lo yashke otan ve'im hishka kasher. If he erased the megilot in two separate cups and mixed them, and then split up the water in two separate cups, he should not have them drink from it, but if he gave it to them to drink, it is valid. If the waters were spilled, he must write a new Megillah and bring new waters to erase the Megillah in them. If the water was spilled, but there was still a little bit left in the cup, he should not have her drink the rest of it, but if he had her drink whatever was left over, it is valid. Okay, if there was waters of the Sota that were left overnight, it becomes invalid, just like anything that is sanctified by one of the vessels of the Bet HaMikdash, as Be'ezat Hashem will see in Hilchot Bet HaBechira, Perek, um, Perek, Perek Gima. And as we mentioned in the previous chapter, the Mesotah were spilled from, they were spilled into one of the Mehillah. Yes, it was spilled into yes, it was spilled into the Keli Heres that was property of the Bet HaMikdash. If he first put dirt before the water, it is invalid, as we mentioned in the previous chapter. The water first must be in the cup, then dirt is spilled inside. But if you did the opposite, it is invalid. Halacha Yod. If there was if there wasn't any dirt in the hechal, he must bring dirt from outside and then place it inside the hechal. And then he takes from that dust that is from that dirt that's on the ground, and then he puts it into the water. And he can't bring dust. Rather, he may bring something that rotted, which is like dirt. And the Kohen cannot shovel dirt and then take whatever dirt he shoveled from and put it in the waters, as the Torah says that the dirt has to be from the ground of the Mishkan. But if he did dig and bring dirt from what he dug up, it is valid. Halacha Yod Aleph, Hikriv et minchata ve'achar kach yishka keshera. If he first brought the korban mincha and only after had the women drink the waters, it is valid. Nitmet minchata kodem sheyanihenna bichli sharet, harezot tipade kechol hamenachot sheyitameu kodem sheyitkadeshu bichli sharet, ve'yavi mincha acheret. If the mincha became tameh before it was placed in the vessel belonging in the Bet HaMikdash, as we mentioned before, her mincha is first put in a kefifa mitzrit, I believe it was called. Yes, kefifa mitzrit. And then it was placed from the kefifa mitzrit into the kli sharet, which was a vessel again that was used in the Bet HaMikdash. So if it was if it became tameh before placing it in the kli sharet, it can be redeemed. It can be nifda, just like any of the menachot that become tameh before being placed in the kli sharet, and she brings another and a different mincha. When the halacha says harezo tipadeh, basically means that she has to bring money that is brought as a donation to the Bet HaMikdash, pretty much in exchange for the mincha that became tameh, in order for the mincha to shift its status from being hekdesh and to make it hulin. And the money that she gives pretty much takes the place of the mincha. So because it became tameh, we don't want it obviously to be brought. And if someone donates something to the Bet HaMikdash, they can't really simply not give it. Therefore, she redeems and exchanges the money for the mincha that was nitma before it was placed in the kli sharet. If, however, the mincha became tameh after it was placed inside the klesharet, inside the vessel belonging in the Beit HaMikdash, in which case we would not be able to do this pidyon. The minha must be totally burned. Halacha Yod Bet. וכן אם אמירה טמאה אני, קודם שתקמץ המנחה. So too, if she said that she is teme'ah, that she had relations with the guy that her husband warned her not to have relations with, before the minha was nikmatz, as we mentioned in the previous chapter, the process of the minha was that the Kohen Gadol would take a handful called, and that process was called kemitza. So he would take a handful of the flour and throw it on the mizbeach. So if she said teme'ah, if she said she is teme'ah before the Kohen did took the handful of the flour, or she'amera any shota, or if she says that or if she refuses to drink, and she says that she refuses to drink, or shelo ratza ba'ala lashkota, or if her husband does not wish to have her drink, or sheba'u edei tum'ah, or if witnesses that saw her have relations with that guy come forward, or shemethu, or if the guy that she had relations with died. No, Mehila, Oshemethu, I think is referring to the husband. Yeah, so if the husband died, or Shemetahi, or if she died, Hareha Minha Kulah Nisefet, in all of these cases, the Minha would be burned. And all of these cases are cases in which the woman would not drink the waters. But if one of these things occur after the komets was brought on the mizbeach, the sheyarim are not eaten. The sheyareh haminha is whatever is left over after the kemitza was done, and the kohanim would eat whatever was left over after the kemitza. Halacha Yod Gimel. Haya ba'ala kohen. If her husband was a kohen, and sheyareh haminha ne'echalin, mipnei sheyesh laba'al helek mehen, the sheyareh minha are not eaten because her husband has a part in it because he is one of the kohanim. And typically in a regular minha, the komets again was brought on the mizbeach and the sheyarim were eaten by the kohanim. But a minha belonging to a kohen, the entirety was brought to the mizbeach. And the minha is not totally burned by the fire of the mizbeach, like a typical kohen brought, a typical minha brought by a male kohen, because she has a part in it. Ela hakometz karev ve'atzmo. Rather, in this case again of the husband who was a kohen, the kometz, the handful, is thrown on the mizbeach and brought alone. V'ashiyarim mitpazirin al bet hadeshen, and the leftovers of the minha are thrown on to the bet hadeshen, which again is the area of the mizbeach that the ashes of the wood was collected on. If we find that that the witnesses that the edeh kinui and edeh sitira were false witnesses, for example, if two other witnesses come and testify that they saw this woman at the same time that the other two witnesses claimed to have seen the women being secluded with the guy. So if again the witnesses that caused her to be in this case, again the edeh kinui and edeh setira are found to be false witnesses, her minha becomes hulin. Because this case is hekdesh korban ta'ut, and in a case of hekdesh korban ta'ut, something that was designated to be a korban that was a mistake, eno hekdesh, it is not hekdesh, it is not designated, is not considered designated, and this is a rule Bezat Hashem, that we'll see more explicitly in Hilchot Arachim, Perek Vav. Halacha Yod Daled. If a man warned his wife regarding many men, and she was secluded with each and every one of them, he brings one minha collectively for all of the men that she is going to drink the water for. Shne'emar minhat kinaot, as the pasuk says, the korban minha is a minhat kinaot, a minha ahat the kinuyin rabbin, that one korban minha is brought for many warnings, as minhat kinaot. The kinaot here is in plural. Halacha tet vav. יש לבעל לגלגל עליה בשבועה שלא זינתה עם איש זה שקינא לה בו, ולא עם איש אחר, ושלא זינתה תחתיו כשנתארסה קודם שתינשא ולא אחר שנישאת. Now we'll move to another topic, that the husband has the right to throw in more items in her shevu'ah. For example, that she never had forbidden relations with that guy with whom she was warned about, and also that she didn't have relations with someone else that he named, or that she never had forbidden relations while still married, while they were together, from the time he did kiddushin to her up until the time that she was nisu'ah, and also that she didn't have relations with anyone other than him after she was nisu'ah. אבל אינו מגלגל עליה שלא זינתה קודם האירוסין, but have the right to throw into this shevu'ah and have her swear to the fact that she didn't have forbidden relations before the irusin, and not after she was divorced. Not after she was divorced. Not after he divorced her, provided that he divorced her and then he remarried her. Because if she did have relations during these at one of these times, she would not be forbidden to him. In any forbidden relations that she has, and she wouldn't be forbidden to him, he cannot have her swear or attest to that. Lefikach, halachat tet zayin. Im kanas yevimto. Therefore, if he married the yevama of his brother that passed away, he cannot add into her shevu'ah and have her attest to the fact that she did not have forbidden relations while she was shomeret yabam. As we mentioned, shomeret yabam is when she was designated to be with the yabam. That in this case, if she had relations, she would not to be with the yabam. But he can throw into the shevu'ah and have her attest to the fact that she did not have relations while married to his brother. Because if she did have relations while married to his brother, she would in fact be prohibited to be with the Abam, because she was forbidden to be with the deceased brother. Again, if she had relations with someone else, as we saw, yes, in Hilchot Yibum Perek Vav. Also, if he divorced her and then remarried her, he can have her attest to the fact that she did not have forbidden relations while married to him during their first marriage. Halachat Yod Zayin. V'chen yesh lo legalgel aleha bilhaba. So too, he can have her attest to something in this shevu'ah in regards to the future. Shelot tizne tahtav, that she won't have forbidden relations while married to him. And that she won't have forbidden relations after if he if he remarries her, in if he divorces her and then remarries her. Therefore, if she does in fact have forbidden relations in the future, the mehamarim check her. And the same things that we mentioned that happened to a regular sota would happen to her. Amen, amen. And for this, the Torah said amen twice, that the woman responds to the Shavu'ah. Amen me'ish zeh, amen me'ish acher. That the first amen is for this man, and amen, and the second amen is for another man. Amen nesu'ah, amen arusa. And amen while she is in nesu'ah, and amen for while she was in arusa. As we mentioned, he can have her attest to the fact that she didn't have relations while she was an arusa prior to the nisu'in. Amen l'sha'avar, amen lehaba. And amen in regards to reference to things in the past and for things in the future. Now Harambam will close Hilchot Sota with the proper way a husband and wife should behave and avoid the situation of the Sota altogether. Mitzvat Hachamim al Bnei Israel lekanot linshehen. Hachamim instructed the Jewish people, namely Jewish men, to have kinui to their wives. Kinui, as we mentioned, is to caution and warn them whenever there is a suspicion of forbidden relations, and not to have suspicions of forbidden relations and improper or promiscuous behavior simply pass by and go unnoticed. As the Torah says that a husband should caution his wife. And any husband that cautions his wife in any case that he suspects her of forbidden relations, his mind becomes clean and becomes pure, and would cause him to have a peace of mind and to lead and not to have any suspicions that his wife is behaving improperly. לא מתוך שחוק, ולא מתוך שיחה, ולא מתוך קלות ראש, ולא מתוך מריבה, ולא להטיל עליה אימה. And when he warns her, he should not do so jokingly, and should not do so casually, and he shouldn't warn her in a casual or lighthearted way, and he shouldn't warn her while in the midst of an argument, and he shouldn't warn her in a way that would intimidate her or cause her to be afraid. But if he violates what Hachamim said and warns her in the presence of Edim in one of the manners that we just mentioned, that husband again should not warn his wife in one of those ways. It is considered a valid warning. Halacha Yotet, final halacha, En ra'u likpot ulkanot bifnei edim tehila. A husband should not be overzealous and run to warn his wife in the presence of edim from the outset. Ela beno levenah benachat uvderech tahara vehazhara. Rather, he should first caution her only in her presence, calmly, and in a way that that is pure, and in a way that is caution, and in a way that she would be receptive to him. In order to guide his wife on the proper path and to remove anything that might cause her to stumble. And also, anyone who isn't, any husband or any man that is not meticulous or doesn't care so much about his wife or his wife's behavior and the behavior of his children and the behavior of the rest of the people of his household, and caution their ways, and again keep them in check and make sure they are on the right path. hareza hote, until he truly knows that they are on the right path and um, clean from any transgression or violation. This husband of the household is himself transgressing. שנאמר וידעת כי שלום אהליך ופקדת נביך ולא תחתה. As the pasuk in Eov says, and you shall know that there's peace and proper behavior in your house, and that you check your home and your family for them not to do any transgressions. And with that, we close Hilchot Sota, and we also close Sefer Nashim. Baruch Rahamana Desayean. Baruch Hashem, that has helped us complete Sefer Nashim. Bezrat Hashem will be beginning Sefer Kedusha tomorrow.